Okay, it is Costco shopping day. So I am off to go do our Costco shop. I am going in with a $300 budget today. So I'm gonna try really hard not to go over that because I really just don't wanna spend $500 at Costco today because I got other stuff I gotta pay for. So let's see if I can just get what we need and stick to $300 or less. Okay, I went slightly over budget. I spent $350 and I still didn't even get everything that I was planning on getting. So there's that. But I did get a lot of stuff for $350 and I mean, it's better than $500. So we're doing good. I feel like there's definitely a conversation to be had about how expensive groceries have gotten in Canada. It's actually outrageous. It almost feels like every time I go, something we regularly buy is $2 to $6 more than it was 2 weeks ago. So it's actually kind of just crazy. Okay, I'm gonna start with all the stuff that goes in the fridge or freezer. Cheese for $15. It's a nice big block though, so it lasts. Okay, I got 3 milks. Some are whole milk and some are 2%. I'm just realizing I majorly messed up. I accidentally bought 3 whole milks and I meant to buy 2% and 1 whole milk. So I might actually go back and see if they'll let me exchange these. Okay, I got a big thing of eggs. These are good until the very end of July, July 30th. So these should last us about 2 months. Okay, the double pack of cream cheese. These are also good for quite a while. October, so we'll definitely get through 2 in that amount of time. A big box of frozen chicken. This is $47, but it lasts us a couple months usually, and we make quite a few dinners out of the chicken breasts. Okay, I got a thing of ground beef. It was $30.40. I am going to make hamburgers out of these, and I'll probably be able to use about half to 3/4 for the hamburgers, and then I'll be able to freeze another portion for some other meals. And I actually wasn't planning on buying these because I would prefer my toddler eats like actual cheese, not like the processed type of cheese. But these were on sale, so they were only $11 and they're just great to grab for snacks on the go. We're out and about a lot in the summer and doing some road trips and stuff, so those will be nice to have. Okay, I think that's everything that needed to go directly in the fridge or freezer. I got quite a few bread products, which I will be putting in the freezer and freezing, but they don't have to go immediately in the freezer. So I got hot dog buns. We already have frozen hot dogs from one of the last trips to Costco, but we didn't have any buns, so I will freeze these. Some bread, which will also be frozen. Hamburger buns to go with the hamburgers that I'm making. This is $7 for 2 packs. They go bad really fast in about 2 days, so I always pre-cut them with a bread knife and then put them in the freezer. Usually I've been getting 2 of the everything bagels, but I decided to branch out today and get the cheddar jalapeno. We have had these before and they're really yummy. And then I got a peanut butter, garlic, hemp hearts. These were $15. They're good for a really long time though. March 2027. And these are just really great to add on yogurt, salads. I usually put them in smoothies. It's just like an added little bit of nutrition that's easy to add. This was $17 for the applesauce pouches. If you have a toddler, you know, you just gotta have these on hand. $7 for a bag of potatoes. I'm planning on making shepherd's pie tomorrow, so I need potatoes. And we'll just have to crush these and make lots of stuff with potatoes because this is a giant bag. I actually didn't get too much fruit this time just because I had just done a big fruit haul somewhere else. So the only fruit I actually got was a cantaloupe for $6. I usually get blueberries, raspberries, bananas, spinach, oranges, grapes, but we already had all that. Okay, for barbecue season, we needed some ketchup. The 2-pack for, I think think it was $11. The check on that one. And then we were also out of cooking spray, so we get this. Again, these last for a super long time. March 2027. This was probably the biggest shock on price. Every time I go, coffee just continually goes up and up, and this was $28. Sorry, my cat was freaking out. Anyway, this was $28, which is more than it was a couple weeks ago when I got it. We started buying this about 2 years ago and it was $16. And now 2 years later, it's already up to being $28. And every time I go, it seems to go up about $2 at least. So that is crazy. And then the last thing I got was diapers. These last not quite a month. The Kirkland brand are $47 for size 5, which is the size we're getting right now. The Huggies are a couple dollars more than that. So I only get the Huggies when the Huggies are on sale. They do go on sale a couple times a year. But otherwise, I always get the Kirkland because they're just a little bit cheaper. Okay, the prep that I do once I'm home with all the Costco stuff, I always just put everything that needs to go in the fridge or freezer right away into that. And then I do the more preppy work. So I always cut the bagels with a bread knife just in half and then freeze them. It just makes it way easier when you go to have one if they are pre-cut, and it's easier to just pre-cut them all at once anyway. And then I put them in the freezer in freezer safe bags. I'm also going to cut the cantaloupe up and put it in a container. We're just much more likely to eat it if it's cut up. Just like that, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge. I've also been snacking on it this whole time because it's really good. Okay, this is very much a non-necessary, but I always put the eggs in these type of containers just because I feel like you can stack stuff on top safer, and I just feel like there's less likely for them to get wrecked in the fridge if it's in a container with a hard top. Because these are 2 months worth of eggs, I want to make sure that they don't get wrecked. So I do put all the eggs into these containers. Okay, I split up the beef. I made hamburgers. These I got at Costco, by the way, a couple years ago. They're great. You just put the burgers in them and then like press it down and then put them in the freezer, and then you can just leave them in here till you make hamburgers, or you can take them out and put them in like another bag and then use these again to make more. And then I split up the additional beef into bags, and then I just put the date and pop them in the freezer. That way I make sure to use the oldest ones first and I know what date they're from. But yeah, so out of the beef I got, these make 8. So this is 16 burgers and then 2 things of ground beef. Okay, that is everything that I got for $350 at Costco in June 2025. And it looks like I am actually going to go back there right away to see if I can exchange those 2 milks, because I do not need 3 whole milks. That is just too many. And I also need to get gas, and it's cheaper at Costco, so I may as well just go get gas and see if I can do the milks at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back next month with another Costco.